So, Moon Knight continues with the episode The Friendly Type, which, I don't know, I guess refers to Stephen Grant being the nicer guy as opposed to Mark Spector, who's, the actual hero in this story. or is he? Oh. So he's in Egypt, and there's a race between him and Haro to find the tomb of Amet or Amenet. I can't remember how to pronounce it right. And you do get more action, so this episode's a little bit better than the previous one. It's just really starting to weigh on me just how far removed this is from Moon Knight. There's almost nothing left of the Moon Knight character and story from the comics, not even the later version, which dealt more with surrealism and that sort of thing, and sort of the way I got it, at least from the Warren Ellis version and stuff like that, left it in some doubt as to whether or not Khonshu was just a figment of Mark Spector's imagination. And he's like, well, it could be either way, But here, no, he's a god and everything, and I understood that. They've already introduced Thor and the Asgardians and everything, so why couldn't the Egyptian deities be true? And they are, and we meet a few more. Maybe the comics have gone into that beyond the ones I've seen, but I don't recall any of the other gods playing too much of a role in all this. But that's the premise of the series, is this, it's really a war between Khonshu and Ammit, but the other gods just seem to be completely clueless about what's going on, and don't pay attention to anything unless you pester them or something. So you get some action of Stephen Grant fighting these Egyptian guys who seem to know, or he thinks they know, where Haro is. And then he seems to black out. And then he wakes up and he's in a cab and he's going back to the airport. And he's like, "What? No." And then there's another chase with those guys. And wakes up again. They're all dead except for the youngest one of the bunch. And that one kills himself rather than tell Mark Spector what happened. The thing of it is, that's the one interesting aspect of this was, well, Stephen Grant said, "I didn't do it," and obviously he didn't kill all those people. And Mark Spector's like, "Well, what the hell?" And so then it's like, there's Khonshu, sitting around, and he's like, "Did he somehow do it?" Well, obviously he's, guiding them and stuff. That he just assumed the body and did. Then why not just do that the whole time? But of course, in the comics, there are 3 personalities. Originally they were just aliases, but okay, we'll go with this version of him now, and that would have been Jake Lockley. There's been no introduction of that in this. I mean, most of the characters, Frenchie's name is mentioned in that phone. Layla is not his wife. That was Marlene. It's just everything's been removed and replaced and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know that they're even going to bother with the other one, but I'm assuming there will be. Perhaps they'll just invent a new one, and that'll be this other character that's a personality of Mark Spector. So, you get more action here and there, but then, the rest of it is him and Layla talking about their feelings and how she feels distant from him and he doesn't tell her the whole story. Haro teases her in part of the episode about Mark Spector doesn't want you to know the truth, which I'm guessing her father was killed, and I'm guessing we're going to reveal that Mark Spector either had something to do with it or could have stopped it or whatever, or did it himself, something like that. And she's troubled because, Mark Spector just flat out tells her, "Yeah, you don't know me." Of course, what is he doing? Well, perhaps he knows exactly what happened to her father and, doesn't want her to know. But more likely it has more to do with Khonshu had already told him that he would rather choose Layla as his new avatar than him. And so he's trying to prevent all that from happening. So Khonshu contacts the other gods, and they have this little trial, I guess, for Haro, but Haro outfoxes him and pretty much convinces them that there's nothing to worry about, and they just leave. And they warn Khonsu not to mess with the stars and stuff. So Khonsu creates an eclipse to get the gods to respond to him, and they don't like this. And so later on, they go and meet this dealer in relics and whatnot, and that's a key to where the tomb is, and they have to find it and all this stuff. And then that gives you a big moonlight fight, and it's pretty cool for a while, but then they have to mess it up. So Stephen Grant takes charge, and now he's in his Mr. Knight suit, and it's back to silliness. I guess trying to be Deadpool, but it doesn't work, and it doesn't make any sense. I mean, Stephen Grant, just the way they have him, wouldn't do that. He keeps interfering in earlier episodes where he's on the verge of getting killed. Stephen Grant's not going to jump into that. He doesn't know what to do. You know, Spectre's the one who knows how to fight. Grant doesn't. Plus, they've gone way beyond with what the supernatural abilities of Moon Knight are, which he didn't really have in the comic. I mean, the Khonshu could heal him and stuff like that, but here he gets impaled several times with spears and stuff, and yeah, it's fine. So I don't know. That's just the thing. It's too far removed. If it's people who just don't, and probably most people viewing it don't know the Moon Knight story, so it's probably fine for them, I guess. But I don't know, this need to constantly go to silliness that doesn't make sense at this point about how serious and dangerous this is, and for Stephen Grant to just be silly when he'd be scared to death. It doesn't work. They haven't had any journey for Stephen Grant to pick up some skills and stuff like that, you know, unless they jumped through time and said, oh, well, in between episodes he had a lot of training with Mark and Layla and all that. Layla, of course, beats the crap out of yet another man, you know, much bigger than her. Then she dispatches him, you know, not with a gun. No, she loses that, so she has to kick him around and then stab him with her necklace things, whatever. Yeah, it's pretty stupid. So anyway, they're back on the road talking about their feelings and stuff, and they get there, but they have all these old I guess papyrus or whatever they found out of this sarcophagus that they raided. And the only one who can read it is Steven, so Mark has to release Steven. So Steven comes out, he reads it, and then they're like, Layla's like starting to get, you know, like a little crush on Steven because he's so much nicer and innocent and stuff. So, you know, and then they discover the map. It tells them where to find the tomb, but the problem is it's based on a star map that no longer exists because the stars have changed position since then. It's been a long time. Well, Khonsu says, don't worry, I can fix that. But the problem is it's going to get him in trouble with the gods, and they warned him that if he screwed with the stars and the moon again, he would be imprisoned in stone. So he does this, and it makes the entire night sky move back to the way it was however many thousands of years ago. And everybody sees this. You know, I mean, everybody in Egypt, and I'm assuming everybody on the planet would see this. And the Avengers don't see it, you know. I mean, you know. But anyway, as a result of this, they're able to pinpoint the location, so they know where to go. But Khonsu betrayed violated the god's rule or whatever, and so they turn him into a little stone statue in this chamber somewhere inside the pyramid in Giza. So, and then Haro shows up and mocks him, and because apparently he used to be his avatar, and now he's Amit's avatar, whatever. And that's apparently there's avatars all over the place. That's how the gods meet. They just use these people and possess them and all that. Yeah, okay. I don't know why, since they already said they had no interest in interfering with mankind. Well, you're interfering with them by doing that. But, you know, whatever. So Haro fooled them, but good. And so there's Khonsu stuck, and Khonsu tells Steven, tell Mark to come get me when he can. Which my guess is Mark might try not to do that, because that way he can protect Layla from becoming the new, Avatar or something, I guess. I don't know. But now he doesn't have any powers, so he's going to have to make his own moon. Maybe he'll actually make the Moon Knight suit that you actually saw in the comic. But I don't know. Or you're just not going to get much Moon Knight, But now the stakes are very high. He's going to have to depend on his own, normal fighting skills, which he has, but he doesn't have any supernatural protection. So if he gets impaled, it's over. So that's where they are on the way to the tomb. Again, it's just not all that spectacular, And it's still, by comparison, it's probably the best they've done for these D+ shows, but that tells you how bad the other ones went south. I mean, WandaVision had more intriguing elements in it than Moon Knight so far, because this isn't really Moon Knight. This is something else, So, I don't know. It had more action, but then they had to silly it up and ruin it. So, I guess that's it. The friendly type. See what type it is next week.